Good day everyone, I'm Teacher Justin and let's talk about absolute value. What is absolute value? Bakit nga ba nagiging positive ang isang number pag kinuha yung absolute value? So, let's answer the question. Absolute value is answering the question just how far is the number from 0. So, for example, meron tayong number line and we're going to get the absolute value of 5. Let's answer the question just how far is 5 from 0. So, bilangin natin. So, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, meron tayong 5 units away from 0. So, ito yung sagot natin when we get the absolute value of 5. Now, let's try to get the absolute value of negative 5. So, bilangin natin yung distance ni negative 5 to 0. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, it is 5 units as well. So, bakit pareho sila ng sagot? Yung absolute value of negative 5 and absolute value of 5. We can say that absolute value is the distance of a number from 0. Okay, so bakit sila pareho ng sagot? Okay, remember that distance is always positive. Wala tayong negative distance. That's why when we get the absolute value of a negative number, kukunin natin yung positive value niya. Kasi we're answering the question, how far is the number from 0? So, bibilangin lang natin yung number of units away from 0. So, it will always be positive. And take note that absolute value is denoted by the 2 bars. Okay? Tapos, yung number nasa loob. So, pag kinuha natin yung absolute value ng isang number, we always get the positive value of that number. And that's it. Tada! Alright. Let's have some examples in getting the absolute value of a number. So, if we get the absolute value of negative 10, we will get positive 10. If we get the absolute value of 15, that will give us 15. If we get the absolute value of 0, that will give us 0. Now, pag nasa labas naman yung negative sign, unahin natin kukunin is yung absolute value of 8. So, the absolute value of 8 is positive 8. Then, we multiply negative 1 times 8. That will give us negative 8. So, ganun din yung letter E natin. Negative absolute value of negative 6. So, that will give us negative times 6. So, negative times positive will give us negative 6. So, that's it. Tada! Alright. So, let's perform the indicated operation in simplifying this expression. So, pag nagsisimplify tayo ng expression, ang gagamitin natin is yung order of operation, which is GEMDAS. Now, since we have the absolute value, we will treat the absolute value as a grouping symbol. So, since grouping symbol yung absolute value, uunahin natin yung mga nasa loob ng absolute value. So, dito sa expression na to, pag sinimplify natin, let's start first with the one inside the grouping symbol na absolute value. So, let's simplify 5 minus 7. That will give us negative 2. Plus, then, let's simplify negative 8 plus 6. That will give us negative 2. Okay? So, meron na tayong absolute value of negative 2 plus the absolute value of negative 2. Ang susunod nating step is for us to get the absolute value of negative 2. So, the absolute value will be 2 and the other one will also be 2. Now, let's add 2 plus 2. That is equal to 4. And that will be our final answer. Tada! Alright. Let's have the second item. So, let's simplify this expression. So, pag nag-simplify tayo ng expression, we will perform the order of operation and we will treat the absolute value as a grouping symbol. So, uunahin natin yung mga nasa loob ng grouping symbol natin na absolute value. So, let's start first by getting the product of 6 and negative 3. So, let's multiply. 6 times negative 3 will give us negative 18. So, the absolute value of negative 18 minus, so nasa loob ng grouping symbol natin, si 36 and 3. So, 36 divided by 3 is 12. Now, let's get the absolute value of each term. So, we have negative 18. Yung absolute value niya is 18. si 12, yung absolute value niya is 12. Now, let's subtract 18 and 12. That will give us positive 6. And that will be our final answer. Ta-da! Alright. Let's simplify this expression. So, let's have this item number 3. So, ang first step natin pag magsisimplify is we will perform the order of operation. So, unahin natin yung mga nasa loob ng grouping symbol. So, we have the absolute value. So, unahin natin yung mga nasa loob ng absolute value natin. So, here we have the following. So, let's subtract 20 and negative 22. That will give us 42. So, apply natin yung keep, change, change. Minus, subtract natin si 20 and 22. That will give us negative 2. Ayan. So, absolute value of negative 2. Tapos, minus, kopyahin lang natin yung operation. Negative 20 minus 22, that will be equal to negative 42. Now, after simplifying yung nasa loob ng absolute value natin, ang susunod natin gagawin is to get the absolute value of 42, negative 2, and negative 42. So, we will have 42 minus 2 minus 42. So, let's subtract 42 minus 2. That will be 40 minus 42. That will give us negative 2. So, yung final answer natin for this expression will be negative 2. That's it. Tada! Alright. Okay, let's simplify this expression. So, meron tayo ditong absolute value of 14 minus the absolute value of 2 plus the absolute value of negative 25. So, para mas simplify natin to, unahin natin yung nasa loob ng ating grouping symbol. Let's start first with getting the absolute value of negative 25. So, kunin natin yung absolute value ni negative 25. That will be 25. Tapos, pwede na nating i-add si 2 at si 5. So, 2 plus 5 will be 27. Then, since nasa loob siya ng absolute value symbol, we get the absolute value of 27. That will be 27. Tapos, 14 minus 27 will be negative 13. Tapos, since nasa loob ng absolute value si negative 13, then, let's get the absolute value of negative 13. That will be positive 13. And that will be our final answer. Tada! Alright. Okay, let's have this item. Let's simplify this expression. So, let's use the order of operation. So, unahin natin yung pinaka nasa loob ng grouping symbol natin. So, ito yung pwede nating i-simplify dyan. So, we have 4 times negative 8. So, multiply natin si 4 and negative 8. That will give us negative 32. Okay? So, nakuha na natin yung ating product ni 4 and negative 8. Pero nasa loob siya ng absolute values. Magiging positive siya, pero babalik siya sa negative. So, it will be negative 32 ulit. Okay? Kasi may negative sign sa labas ng absolute value. So, babalik siya sa negative. Okay? So, now we can add negative 32 and 17. That will be equal to 15. Now, let's get the absolute value of 15. So, it will be 15. Then, subtract natin si 15 and 16. That will be negative 1. So, since mayroong negative sign sa labas, yung magiging positive, babalik siya sa negative. So, that will give us negative 1. And that will be our final answer. Tada! Alright.